What's up? What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the channel, Sports, Life, Politics TV. Today is December 29th. I'm Samuel Koppel. I'm here for the news. This is a channel where we go over different news clips, whether it be sports, politics, life, and we dig in and read in between the lines, and we ask some of the questions that not a lot of people are asking, and sometimes nobody is asking. And today we got a little bit of Kamala Harris. We got the two popes. We have a black woman saved a white woman from a blizzard, and several other clips. And I'm gonna hit you with some local stuff here, right here in Las Vegas. But this first clip we're gonna go over is these illegal immigrants that they're dropping off nationwide. You have the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, literally dropped off some illegal immigrants right in the front of the house of Kamala Harris. This should have become comical. The left is going nuts over it. The right is enjoying it. And before it was vice versa. When all the illegal immigrants was coming into the country, the right was up in arms and the left was enjoying it. So these guys are playing a sick game of tag the immigrant. And right now they just tagged Kamala Harris and she's it. So let's take a look at this first clip right here on Fox News.
But only after Texas Governor Greg Abbott again dropped busloads of illegal immigrants outside the vice president's home. This time it was on Christmas Eve. Interesting that those same outlets didn't seem to care much about the thousands of migrants who slept on the frigid streets of El Paso. Into Christmas morning, the situation there continuing to get worse, and with Supreme Court set to decide the fate of Title 42 maybe in the next 24 hours, overrun El Paso is preparing for the worst. Border Patrol there set up a massive tent city just outside downtown ahead of the expected surge. The New York Post covered this morning calling it a welcome mat for illegal immigration. You know, Katrina, I think it's interesting that the media, the left-wing liberal media anyway, is deciding what's a story and what isn't. So migrants freezing in El Paso, not a story. Migrants freezing in D.C., that's a story. By the way, they were picked up almost immediately by social workers and taken to a church, and they're war.
Now, is it right that they play a sick game with these people? Probably not, but when you're an illegal immigrant, you're taking a hell of a risk coming over here at this particular juncture with this political climate. Now, obviously, the countries they're coming from is third world countries, and anything is, at this point is better than what they're coming from. But for these politicians, it amazes me that a lot of these people who are Democrats are up in arms that these people are getting dropped off in front of people like Kamala Harris's house. What difference do it make where they get dropped off? They were dropping them off under bridges. They're dropping them off in tent cities. I seen, I think it was a couple months ago, they dropped them off in Martha's Vineyard, which is a very affluent part of the country where they make a lot of money. And you would think there would be a lot of jobs for illegal immigrants. I don't know. But to me, it became a complete shit show and pure comedy at this point, being played with actual human lives.
But it's just the hypocrisy of all of it. It doesn't hit them until it hits them at home, you know, unintended. And remember when DeSantis did this, where he shipped them, and then finally all of a sudden the media is paying attention. And it's so sad because this has been an issue, but there's no solution yet. And the media only covers it when they're actually shipped to the president or vice president's home.
Yeah, no, and you know, Michelle, I mean, this lack of focus I think is interesting because it's also so slanted. You know, I mean, 8,500, I think, migrants have come to New York City about, right?
Yeah.
How about 200,000 into Texas? You know, the numbers don't add up. Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah.
America added to New York. Migrants are arriving.
Yes, and record numbers. No one's paying attention to the southern border. And it is. The hypocrisy is ridiculous. I remember...
Look at this. I didn't know Michelle Tafoya was on fucking Fox News. I remember Michelle Tafoya used to be like on, I don't know if it was ESPN. I think it was ESPN, but she used to do sports. Like she was heavy into sports. So now she's on Fox News, pundit on Fox News.
when they took them to Martha's Vineyard. And that was Governor DeSantis. And the internet went wild, and there was Twitter and Facebook, and how cruel, how awful, yes, so cruel to go to Martha's Vineyard.
That's the same thing I was saying. Well, if you're going to get dropped off anywhere, Martha's Vineyard ain't a bad start. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of jobs around Martha's Vineyard, and there was already probably some illegal immigrants there working any goddamn way.
You're right. AOC, when Trump was in office, was down there crying about the conditions of the people in these shelters at the border. Now the border shelters are being overrun. Babies are dying en route to the United States. Women are being raped. Stuff is going on at record numbers. Where's AOC? And where's the press, like you said, at the border? But instead they wait until it hits somewhere that maybe is more meaningful to people. I'm not sure why that's right.
And either way, Jeanette, it's a human tragedy. Whether it's happening in Washington or New York or Chicago or in Texas, where that's the real tragedy. Tragedy to Michelle's point.
And to Michelle's point, what's cruel and awful is incentivizing and encouraging illegal immigration. I mean, when you think about it, it's a very dangerous trek from the.
I don't know, she almost looks like she's either Mexican or, I don't know if she's Native American. She looks Mexican though.
Even when they enter the United States, I've had patients, when I work here in Times Square, they would come in through the Port Authority. I had a patient come in, he was stabbed in the stomach. And I said to him, why didn't you seek medical attention, 911, go to the hospital? And he told me through a translator, he was afraid of being deported. So when they come through the border, like you said, women and children raped, there's sex trafficking. Then the drugs, cocaine, heroin, methamphetamines, coming in, killing, causing overdoses.
And one thing she is right about, all that shit goes hand in hand. Sex trafficking, human trafficking, the rapists, the kidnap, all that stuff goes hand in hand, especially with them cartels. They got their hand in all of that, of trafficking humans into the United States, trafficking prostitutes into the United States, trafficking drugs into the United States, whether it be fentanyl, methamphetamine, cocaine, marijuana, all that shit. So she is right about that. All of that goes hand in hand. You can't separate one from the other, because they might use some of them people to traffic some drugs, use them as some mules.
Absolutely, fentanyl is a huge one. And then, you think about it, this past quarter, 577,000 border encounters. And how many of them could have been terrorists entering? Only 200,000 of them were deported because of Title 42. But 400,000 of them remained in the United States, released into the United States. That is scary.
You know what's interesting?
And, I'm not going to go over this whole video. You get the gist of it. Do I agree with illegal immigrations and illegal immigrants being able to come to the country? Absolutely not. Leave them people where they're at. We got enough problems. We got enough issues. We have enough homelessness. We have enough problems in the United States, not adding all of these people from Honduras and Mexico and Guatemala and fucking Venezuela. Man, leave these people where the fuck they at, man. We don't need more. We have plenty. We don't need more. Period, point blank. But it's funny, they dropped them people off right in front of Kamala Harris's house. Unbelievable. Up next, we got Pope Francis calls for prayers for his predecessor. Now, look, everybody knows about the Roman Catholic Church, the amount of pedophilia that goes on in there, the amount of pedophilia that they covered up, the amount of priests and different cardinals that they moved around from church to church when they were found guilty and found out that it was obvious that they had been molesting children. So, both of these guys can burn in the deepest, darkest part of hell. But let's take a look and see what they have to say about these two guys.
Sick and asking for prayers. The 95-year-old Benedict stepped down nearly 10 years ago. ABC's Marcus Moore at the Vatican tonight.
Tonight, Pope Francis calling for prayers for his predecessor, Benedict XVI.
Now, let me tell you this: both of those guys look like they just got done drinking baby's blood. Anybody who's praying for either one of these people, you're probably going to hell too. You're probably going to hell too. I mean, to pray for that man, as much as they covered up all them pedophile cases, you have to be one sick individual. People raise hell about R. Kelly and then ask for prayers for Pope Benedict. You got to be kidding me.
Saying the Pope Emeritus is, quote, very sick. Benedict shocked the church and the world when he announced his retirement in 2013, the first pontiff to step down in nearly 600 years, citing, quote, a lack of strength of mind and body due to his age.
Grazie, buonanotte.
The 95-year-old has kept a low profile, residing at the Vatican, giving up his famous red shoes for a quiet life, vowing to live, quote, hidden to the world. Recently, he has appeared frail and in declining health. Seen this summer with Francis, who has said having Benedict at the Vatican was like having a wise grandfather at home to turn to for advice. In 2005, it's...
How the hell he gonna give you advice and that man is damn near brain dead? These people tell you anything. Unbelievable. That man's damn near a vegetable. Stop it.
78, he was the 5th oldest pope elected in the church's history. Born Joseph Ratzinger, he served as the Cardinal Archbishop of Munich in the late 70s and early 80s. Just this year, Benedict facing a damning report accusing him of mishandling cases of sexual abuse by priests when he was head of the archdiocese. The church sexual abuse scandal.
And the Roman Catholic Church is basically a place of pagan worship. If you see that hat he has on, that's the fish god. I think it's Dogon. Everything they do, you're not supposed to worship wood and stone, and the whole Catholic Church is full of wood and stone and a bunch of worship of saints that you're not supposed to do. Everything they do is the opposite of what the Bible tells you to do. So the Roman Catholic Church is just a place of pagan worship. You can believe it or not. A lot of people at this point, they do. This whole thing about child pedophilia and them having sex with underage kids and boys is nothing new. They've been doing that for 1,000 years in the Roman Catholic Church, and that's a fact.
Plagued his papacy, and while he was the first pope to meet with victims,
Indeed, I am deeply sorry for the pain and suffering the victims have endured.
he also faced intense criticism for not holding church leaders accountable for covering up abuse. But perhaps the most notable part of his papacy was its abrupt end, a decision that could change the church forever.
I thought it was a great act of humility to give up one of the most powerful jobs in the Catholic Church. Benedict has set the standard now.
So let's get right to Marcus Moore at the Vatican tonight. And Marcus, this really is an extraordinary moment in history, as millions of Catholics around the world are no doubt praying for Benedict tonight, an era of 2 living popes potentially coming to a close. So what more are you hearing about his condition?
Well, Mary, there has been no official update on his condition other than it worsening from his, quote, advancing age. And we know that the former Pope has been at home where he's receiving care, and that Pope Francis went to visit him today as he put out that call for continued prayers. Mary.
We are thinking of it.
Well, nevertheless, when he dies, them demons are going to come rip the soul right out of his body and take him to the depths of hell where he belongs. And all the rest of them cardinals and priests and all them other people out the Roman Catholic Church. I have no love for the Roman Catholic Church. I'm a person who loves history, and I always know what type of people these were. These ain't nothing but pagans. They use Christianity as a shield to practice paganism and to practice a bunch of child molestation. Period, point blank. It is what it is. We're going off to the next video, y'all. Woman held as angel for saving an elderly man. That wasn't no angel that saved him. That was a nigga. Let's take a look.
Storm. In fact, the city's airports reopened this morning. Local authorities have been clearing abandoned vehicles off residential streets to open up a path for snowplows. The storm has killed dozens of people in western New York so far. But one woman is being called an angel for likely saving one man's life. Take a look at this right here. Sakara Autry brought Joe White into a Buffalo home after finding him outside in the freezing conditions.
She found Joe White out there. That damn blizzard was blowing Joe White ass around. He's white, the snow's white. I don't even know how she found his ass.
I have an older 64-year-old white man in my house. I found him yesterday. I heard him screaming for help. I have called 911. I've called everybody. They just keep telling me I'm on a list. I don't want to be on no list.
She said, I don't want to be on no list. I found a white man in my motherfucking yard. This motherfucker's blowing around. This motherfucker's stinking. He ain't took no bath. I found him in his yard. I want him out my house, goddammit. That's what she... I want him out the goddamn house right goddamn me now.
Care about nothing else. This man is not about to die over here on 111. Y'all need to get...
She said, this motherfucker not about to die on my motherfucking couch. Motherfucker, I just paid for this couch. This couch is suede, baby. No, ain't no white man gonna die on my motherfucking couch. I can't give him no bath. I'm not paying for this motherfucking white man. Got me fucked up. But I'm still an angel. I'm a nigga angel, but I'm still an angel. God damn it, now y'all come get this motherfucker right motherfucking now. This shit is unbelievable.
This is an amazing story, but a terrible situation here. I want to bring in Yvonne White, who's Joe White's sister. First off, Yvonne, what was your reaction?
Hey, listen to me. I know niggas' tones. Her tone was, yes, she helped him and saved him. But her tone was really, come get this motherfucker out of my house. He's farting. He's passing gas at this motherfucker. I can't bathe him. He's laying up on this brand new motherfucking couch. My boyfriend just bought me. Enough is enough of this shit. Y'all talking about I'm on the wait list. I ain't carrying no dead white man on my motherfucking couch. This is a dead white man. I barely like the white people at work. Nevertheless, the white man laying on my motherfucking on my couch. Oh, man, I would go deep into this video, but obviously you know what happened. They found his ass blowing around in the wind out there. And ain't no telling, maybe he lived a great life and was a great person. Maybe he's been an asshole all his life, and him being that wind blowing on his ass was, that was a little bit of karma. You never know. I don't know. I'm not saying he was good or bad, but you just never know. But let's go on to the next video, y'all. North Korea drones enter into South Korea airspace. Let's take a look.
The Korean Peninsula now, where North Korean drones crossed the border into South Korea today. Officials there say 5 drones violated. Now,
if you take a look at this drone, this shit look like it was made by a 7th grader. Look at the wheels on that mother. Look at the wheels. It looked like they just spray painted the whole thing. Oh, man, look at the wheel on that thing, man. That's the shit that go on them old-ass trains you used to get in 1983, 84. You get it like one of them wooden trains, and you just stick a wheel on the side of that motherfucker. You use some wood glue to keep it on. Look at that shit. And they trying to overpump this shit. That drone never stood a chance. A gust of wind would have took that drone out. Look at that piece of shit drone. I went over this North Korea, South Korea. I went over China and Taiwan, and I went over Russia and the Ukraine. And I've said all 3 of those major countries want to take those parts of these different countries. China want Taiwan back. Russia want the Ukraine back. North Korea want South Korea back. And eventually they will get them. They just got to stay persistent. United States can't, we can for a while, but you just can't hold this shit forever. You trying to basically police the world. I understand why superpowers are going to do what they're going to do. You have to try to keep control and keep allies in certain positions around the country, around the world. But other than that, you have to, it takes a lot of money and finances and energy. And it's a lot to hold up. Because a lot of these countries ain't shit. South Korea ain't shit as a military. Taiwan ain't got no fucking military. They ain't got no military like that. The Ukraine, the only reason they held it, you can see the United States and gave the people $1 trillion fucking dollars just to wage a war that is basically 50-50. We gave we gave every weapon we possibly can give. But look at this bullshit ass motherfucking drone. DJI make a better drone than this shit. This is pathetic. And look at that wheel. Look like it's gonna land in World War II. That's a World War II wheel.
Their airspace, with one making it all the way to the northern edge of the capital city of Seoul. It was the first time in 5 years that a North Korean drone crossed over the border. The last time that happened was in 2017 when a drone crashed in the south on a spy mission.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But, yeah. Drone technology, nobody can beat the United States. North Korea has a long way to go when you look at that motherfucking cheap-ass toy. That's a toy. Yeah, DJI makes some better shit than that. Let's take a look at the Taliban. I covered the Taliban last year when the United States gave the Taliban one of the greatest weapons upgrades in the history of mankind from people who's on horseback and Toyotas. All of a sudden they had Hummers, AR-15s, and all the goddamn military technology they can handle. They say Taliban warning U.S. officials in interfering in Afghanistan's, I guess, whatever they got going on over there. Let's take a look and see what they got going.
The Taliban is warning U.S. officials against interfering in what they're calling Afghanistan's internal issues. The message comes after the Taliban ordered all local and international non-governmental organizations to stop female employees from coming to work. And following a tweet from U.S. Charge d'Affaires Karen Decker on Sunday, questioned how the Taliban administration intends to prevent the starvation of women and children. Other officials spoke out on Saturday, including U.S.
Now, look. The Taliban is going to police their people how they want to police their people. People get caught up in right and wrong. We got enough right and wrong shit we trying to fix over here. How you going to police them and tell them what they about their religion? If they don't want their women to work, it is what it is. We just fought the longest war in the history of the United States over in Afghanistan. And basically, I ain't going to say we won or lost, but shit, we didn't get nothing done. We didn't get nothing done over there. They didn't change nothing. The Taliban is going to implement whatever governmental policies that they have for their people with their Muslim laws. They're going to do it. So they're wasting their time.
State Antony Blinken and U.S. Special Representative to Afghanistan Thomas West, who called the order, quote, profoundly irresponsible. Well, just last week, the Taliban closed universities to women. Video taken on Saturday in Afghanistan shows the Taliban firing a water cannon at students protesting that decision. The administration...
They said the Taliban was firing a water hose. The Taliban, they didn't got a little soft. I remember before the United States went into Afghanistan, after 9/11, right before that war started, the Taliban was executing women. So using the water hose, they didn't got a little softer. That's a good thing, because before, I remember they had them people in that soccer field. And if you don't know nothing about that United States-Afghanistan war with Al-Qaeda and all that shit that was going on over in Afghanistan at the time, they were executing women. Fuck for going to college. If you didn't have that goddamn headscarf on, they was shooting you at point blank range in the head with an AK with the scarf on. So you had to, not only did you have to put the scarf back on, then you're gonna die in the scarf. Yeah, they was vicious back then, buddy. So, water hoses, I guess they didn't, they done softened up a little bit. The Taliban is actually got a little bit more civil.
And claims the move was because women were not adhering to their interpretation of the Islamic dress code.
There it is. They want to go to school, show their face, and they not having that shit over there. Period, point blank. It don't matter whether you agree or disagree. That ain't your country. You ain't over there. You need to worry about the shit that's going on over here. Yeah, I don't know why we even were worried about that shit at this point. We left Afghanistan. They gave them all them weapons. I know eventually they're going to go back sometime down, 10, 15 years down the line, they're going to go back in there and have an excuse. But right now, it's no use to even worry about it. Now, if you've been to the grocery store lately, these goddamn egg prices, man. I went to that, the guy, it was damn near $1.50 an egg. This shit's getting ridiculous. I almost bought some motherfucking chickens. This shit's getting out of control with these damn egg prices. Let's take a look.
And while several grocery store items have become more expensive this year, nothing comes close to the rise in egg prices. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the price of eggs jumped nearly 50% in 2022 through November. One reason, a deadly avian flu reduced flocks. Add to that rising feed and energy costs. Some good news.
Yeah, my Hasididi ass like to eat them cage-free eggs. That's brown and all that old shit. Man, I'm eating them white eggs now. Fuck all that shit. Fuck all that cage-free and hormone-free. Nigga just get the regular egg at this point. God damn, them eggs is out of control.
So experts think the peak has passed, but until these conditions improve, expect to pay more for eggs.
God damn, they gotta do something about them goddamn egg prices, man. But next, we got some local shit right here in Las Vegas, and we be having some wild shit going on in Vegas, man. But we got this right here. Las Vegas life coach accused of running Ponzi scheme. This man if this is a motherfucking life coach, the profession of life coaches has taken a turn downhill. Look at this man right here. This man look like he's fresh off a fucking Gunsmoker bonanza. Look at this hateful eight character who never made it. Look at this shit. I mean, what is he coaching? Meth? He can't. The only thing he can coach you up on is how to use fentanyl. That's it. Let's take a look.
This is News for You at 6 o'clock from 8 News investigators. This man, who identifies himself as a life coach, is accused of running a Ponzi scheme. Metro arresting 65-year-old Rodney Buckle. Now, stating that
That's a hell of a name, too. Rodney Buckle. Man, if you give your money to Rodney Buckle, you deserve to get scammed. I'm going to get a t-shirt made to say, free Rodney Buckle. Shit, if you gave him your money, you deserve to get scammed.
investigators say he told people he was investing their money in the stock market, but instead was wagering millions of dollars of that.
Millions! Man, it's in the middle of the night. I almost screamed. Millions of dollars? Somebody was giving this motherfucker millions of dollars? Millions? Oh, man. That's just, listen to me. You people throw around the term white privilege, but God damn it. This is white privilege at its best. There's no way this meth head, fentanyl sneaking motherfucker, was getting millions of dollars. Unbelievable. Let me hear this again. I can't believe it.
65-year-old Rodney Buckle. Now, state investigators say he told people he was investing their money in the stock market, but instead was wagering millions of dollars of that money at casinos, according to
Rodney Buckle was going to the casinos and letting them bitches fly, buddy. He was throwing them dice. He was on that goddamn poker table. He was playing blackjack. He was slots. It wasn't nothing Rodney Buckle wasn't fucking doing.
40s. He's now facing several fraud charges.
Man, free Rodney Buckle. Fuck all that shit. Rodney Buckle, if he was able to play a life coach, then shit, and you fell for that shit, then you deserve to get scammed. Sometimes you deserve to get scammed. 2 arrested on DUI charges after deadly crash in central Las Vegas. Look at this nigga here. Look at this nigga on the left. This nigga look like the perfect villain on a low-budget action movie. Unbelievable. Let's take a look.
After a crime alert, and 2 men have been arrested for driving under the influence and causing this deadly crash in the Central Valley. It happened early yesterday morning near the intersection of McLeod and Sierra. Police say 37-year-old Tareen Henderson and 35-year-old...
Look at this. Ah, damn. Look at this nigga. The perfect motherfucking movie criminal. Thunderbolt Jenkins. Look at him. Oh, no. Look how they patched his head up, y'all. They just, look at the patch. They just, it look like a damn egg. They just put a fucking egg on top of his head. They gave him some fucking egg and some fucking duct tape. Sunny side up on that nigga. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Look at this. This motherfucker, you go into a jail cell, you in there for tickets, they got you in there with this nigga. You like, what the fuck? Let me out of here. I'm trying to post bail. This nigga look like he belong in here. This nigga's a career criminal. This nigga, when he went to jail for DUI charges, I guarantee you he was on his way to commit a major crime. I guarantee it. I put everything I got on it. Thunderbolt Jenkins was on his way to go commit a crime. And then they caught his ass and slapped the egg right on top of his motherfucking head. God damn. Oh, man. And look at this sidekick, Kenneth Kaminsky. Kenneth Kaminsky look like he like a small child, too. Preferably a little girl between 8 and 9. You got to watch Kenneth. No good motherfucker. 2 no good dirty motherfuckers.
Kaminsky both approached the intersection and crashed into each other. They each sustained minor injuries and were transported to the hospital.
Oh, so he crashed into Kenneth. I thought they was together. They was... Wait a minute, y'all. It just dawned on me. This is a damn child. I just realized they were both drunk. You had 2 drunk motherfuckers hit each other? Oh, man, there's a God. Oh, these 2 jive turkeys hit each other. It was probably feathers everywhere when these 2 jive turkeys hit each other. Unbelievable. Only on Sports, Life, and Politics TV.
As you can see, he had facial injuries, but he already had that before the crash.
He said the facial injuries, he already had that before the crash, and he was already a perfect movie villain, Thunderbolt Jenkins.
He was driving a passenger in his car at the time of the crash, a 36-year-old woman. She was taken to the Sunrise Hospital, where she later died. Her name hasn't been released. Jail records show Henderson is also facing charges of driving without a license or insurance and driving an unregistered vehicle.
That nigga didn't have no license, no insurance. The vehicle wasn't his. I mean, everything that he was breaking every vehicle law that you possibly can break. Turning the wrong way, drunk driving, didn't have a seatbelt on, driving without an eye, Oh, man. Everything you can do wrong, Thunderbolt Jenkins was doing wrong.
Suspects now face DUI charges.
Only in Las Vegas. Let's take a look at this sicko. Las Vegas pastor accused of kidnapping and of sexual assault. Let's take a look.
Las Vegas pastor is accused of molesting a child under the age of 14. The situation allegedly played out while several other adults knew and did nothing. This is 48-year-old Isaac Luna Valencia. He's accused in 2 separate...
So they said other people knew and nobody did a goddamn thing. That's a damn shame. It really is. Everybody else should get to go to jail too. And get sex. See, you can't just let... He was having... You know what I just found out? Recently, the law in Las Vegas is 16. Consent in Las Vegas is 16, which is astounding to me because 16-year-olds usually they ain't really that intelligent, especially when it comes to sex and all the consequences and repercussions of having sex. So, but the legal age is 16 in Vegas. So if you're a sicko, this might be the city for you. But he wanted to go even younger. This motherfucker was going under 16. They said 14 and under. So he probably had a 12-year-old, 11-year-old.
Incidents involving a young girl while on a boat alone with her on Lake Mojave.
Now, my question is, how in the fuck did Isaac get alone on a boat with a girl who was 11, 12 years old? Where the fuck was her parents at?
Interviews with family members who spoke to police about the alleged abuse revealed there were other adults who knew about the situation and did nothing. A polygraph was offered to Luna Valencia by a family member once they found out about the alleged crimes, but he refused. Luna Valencia is due back in court February 20th.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's sick. And other family members knew, but somebody obviously reported them. Good for them, but fuck the rest of them family members. Them sick, low-down, dirty bastards. But you know, you guys, this has been another beautiful day of the news on Sports, Life, and Politics TV. I'm Samuel Koppel. I'm here for the news. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. I just took your ass on a Thunderbolt Jenkins ride.